Hi, it's me, Daphne. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the books I plan to read in January. So, fresh new year, fresh new month. Let's get into the reads. It's quite ambitious. And like I said in my goals video, I'm trying to prioritize my physical book collection. So I have a lot of physical books here, and they tend to be harder for me to read because my Kindle is so much easier, but we're gonna do our best to tackle some of these beasts I've put on this TBR for the month. And we'll see how far we go. So 2 books that are for sure happening because I have a video planned for it are Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I want to read for the first time Fourth Wing and Iron Flame back to back because the 3rd book in the series is coming out this month, and it's finally my chance to be on time for something, even though truly I'm just catching up. But I'm planning on doing a spoiler vlog for these books. Yeah, I'll probably do like the first half this one and the second half this one, spoiler vlog, so you can just watch the first half if you've only read this one and, you know, continue on if you feel like it to the second half with this one for the spoiler vlog. But yeah, I want to have this read in a timely manner because Onyx Storm, I think it's called, comes out January 21st, and I know a lot of people are excited about it, and I think this is my chance to be on the Fourth Wing bandwagon for once. So my expectations are pretty low. I know people are super obsessed with this one, and the people that love this, some of them didn't really like this one. My mom and her book club read Fourth Wing, and my mom really liked it. So intrigued by that fact. All I really know is that there's like a school and a dragon, 2 dragons, like a big one and a little one. I see from all like the fan art. And then I think our main heroine has like a chronic illness or something, and yeah, I'm very intrigued. I'm here to meet Zaddy, I think is in this book, so very excited to finally be in the know of this series. So, to be read in January. By the 21st, you should hopefully be seeing the vlog. This next one is an ambitious one. I don't know if I'll finish it in January, but I want to start it in January, and it's American Gods. I think it's actually 2 books in one. American Gods and the Anisi Boys. Will I commit to both of them back to back? Probably. I probably should. My really good friend Kojo gifted this to me for my birthday. I know him in real life. He's not like an online book person. This is his favorite book. So for context, my birthday's in October, and I saw him in early December or late November, and he was like, "Oh, did you read American Gods yet? Did you love it?" And I was like, "Oh, I haven't read it yet." Because as bookish people, we know you get a book and sometimes it sits for a little while until you're in the mood to read it. But if he's gonna keep asking me if I've read it yet, I wanna prioritize it. That way I can speak to him about it. So putting this on my TBR for January to, at a minimum, start it. I believe this is about a black man who is getting out of prison, but like the world has changed, and not in like a normal way, like technology is different, but I think like the world kind of ended because of some kind of like environmental global problem or something. And he meets this man who like flies him out somewhere, and then like there must be fantasy going on here. Honestly, I really don't know, but intrigued, gonna pick this up. Also, this is a beautiful edition. I love the shiny edges, and the only issue with it is that it's kind of heavy. It has a ribbon bookmark too, which is cute. So that fits the 3 physical books that I want to read off my TBR in a given month. But I'm adding another physical one, which is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, only because I should have read this already. And I put this on my 12 books to read in 2025. Really, I just put a Kennedy Ryan, but I physically own this one, so I want to get it read. And I need some more contemporary romance on my TBR. So putting this physical book on the list. This is the 2nd book in the Skyland series. The first book was Before I Let Go, And yeah, I'm excited to dive in. It's about a woman who recently gets separated from her husband, I believe. I think she got betrayed, and maybe a single dad, yep, and their romance. So very intrigued and excited to dive into another beautiful Kennedy Ryan love story. And then I need to put a book of the month book on my TBR. So I've selected The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. This would be my first Frida McFadden read, and I'm very excited. I've particularly picked this book of the month book because I know Jess and Tori recently read it, and they did like a podcast episode about it, because they're always like going through the top 100 books on Amazon like every month or so, and they see a ton of Frida's books on there, so they were curious. They usually read romance books, right? So they're like, let's just try one of her books. So they picked up this one, and they both really didn't like it. I think this book is like doing decently well though on Goodreads, but I'm intrigued. I already owned it before I knew they were gonna read it, so I'm excited to try it myself and then listen to their podcast and see if I agree with their opinions on it. What I know of this book is that a woman is dating some guy. I think there's like a serial killer that's killing the people he's dating, and maybe she's suspicious that the guy she's dating is the killer. And I think it might take place in New York. It gives like, yeah, it does. And I love books that take place in New York because I live in New York, and it's just so fun to like know exactly where the characters are because I'm decently familiar with the city, at least Manhattan. Excited to read a Frida and have a little thriller moment. I don't read too many thrillers. Next, I have a couple KU books I want to have on my TBR for January. The first one is Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is the fifth and final book in Elsie Silver's Chestnut Springs cowboy romance series, and I'm so excited to reach the conclusion of the series so that I can move into the next series with Wild Love. Yes, I own Wild Love. Again, reading off my physical TBR, excited to get to it. And she's writing books so fast because Wild Love came out in 2024, and then Wild Eyes, I think it was called, also came out in 2024, and then another one is coming out soon in 2025, the third book in this third series already. So she is like really quick with it. I've read her entire first series. I'm nearly done with her second series. When I was reading the fourth book in the second series, I was only 2 books behind at that point, but now I'm 4 books behind. So I'm excited to continue my Elsie Silver reading experience and continue to catch up. So this one in the series is about Beau, one of the brothers of a ton of the main characters in the other books. He's a military hero. I don't know that much about him as a character. I think in a previous book he was injured, like severely injured while he was out doing his job, like overseas, and he's come back home and he's kind of grumpy and bitter, and he's not adjusting well back to like civilian life. And it's his romance with this bartender in their small town, like in his small hometown. She's much younger. I think he's like 35 and she's 22. Significant age gap, but they're both adults, like no big deal. She's like a 22-year-old. Like, it's pretty mature for a woman. Maybe not the most mature, but she's not like 18, so. But anyway, she works at this bar, and apparently her family's reputation isn't that good, and she's kind of tired of being dragged down by her family name. So they come to some kind of arrangement where they've agreed to be fake fiancés together. So intrigued to see how this goes. Seems like she's falling in love with him, but she's not really sure where he stands. I'm very excited to continue with the series and wrap it up so I can move on to the next series. And then, because I was like, ooh, I'm on a roll finishing series, let me continue another series that I had enjoyed and move on to Hail Mary by Candy Steiner. This is the 4th book in the Red Zone Rivals series. It's not the last one. There's a 5th one that I need to get to as well. But I've really enjoyed the series. The first one was Fair Catch, then there was Blindside, which everybody was obsessed with. Quarterback Sneak was my favorite one in the series. And yeah, I'm excited to jump into the 4th one. I don't think I'll need to like rehash the characters too much. This is a sports romance series about football players in college, so it's like that new adult age. I think this one is like friends to enemies to lovers vibes, where like they had a past when they were friends, and the main girl hates him now, but I don't even think he remembers her. Like maybe she like looks different, and for whatever reason, she's moved into his house. I think he like lives in like a frat house, and she lived across the street, but I think her apartment like got flooded or something and she can't live there anymore. So they've moved her into his house, but I don't think he remembers their history. Like I don't think he's connecting the dots that she's the same person that I guess he allegedly did wrong. But she knows him and she's angry. And it's their romance. So excited to continue. I enjoy Candy Steiner's writing, and I think her characters are interesting and compelling. The romances are fun and steamy and everything I look forward to in a contemporary romance. So excited to continue that and then hopefully finish out that series in 2025. And honestly, I really don't need to add any more books to my TBR, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And add one more. I'm gonna add Lingus by Mariana Zapata. I want to read her whole backlist, and I've decided I'm gonna try to read it in chronological order, and I'm pretty sure Lingus is her first book, and I don't know that much about it, but I'm pretty sure it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I think it's like a sex worker or something, like a porn convention or something. Am I making that up? Okay, so this reads, there was something about Kat, the main character, that most people didn't know. And it quotes, "My name is Kat Berger and I love porn." She gets dragged to a porn convention by her best friend and she's embarrassed and nervous. The last thing she ever expected was to meet someone who makes her laugh like no other. This is a story about acceptance and friendship and a love born out of the most unexpected places. Ooh, okay, so I don't know who the guy is, but maybe he's a porn star? I don't know. I have no idea. No idea, but very excited. I'm not anticipating this being like my favorite Mariana Zapata ever if it's her first book, because authors tend to get better with time. So according to her website, Lingus is her first published book back in 2012. Very excited to have that journey with her books as well this year, potentially, just like in general, my life, who knows how long it will take me. But that is my January TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously it helps out my channel. And I will catch you in another video. Bye!